Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Talk to Us, Please. This is the not so late night talk show from Vermont Comedy Club, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We've got a great show for you featuring comedian Jackie Cation, podcasters Maggie Phelan and Maddie Himes, and musical guest Brian McCarthy. So let's go ahead and do it, friends. Let's start the show. Hi, it's me. I'm Natalie. And for those of you who watch the show every week, you'll notice that something is missing. And that something that's missing is my husband, Nathan. He got food poisoning yesterday. Oh, actually, we both did, to be fair, but I recovered faster. So here I am. And, you know, he does look awful, but honestly, you should see what he did to the food. That is a joke. This is my joke pad. Yeah. So it's Friday. We do this every week. We've done this every week, except for the 4th of July since the very beginning of the quarantine. So we're so happy to have you here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Tonight, I want to give extra thanks to a couple of people who really helped me write today because we were feeling very under the weather. And so I just want to give extra shout outs to Connor Listoka, Julia DiFerdinando, Maddie Himes, Ash Diggs, Sam Kernet, and Tom Boone. They all helped me write jokes today because I felt like I was going to die. And that's why the show is happening right now. So what else do I want to say? I want to know, we got to chat. Oh, I see Mark Paulson going to get some merch tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is the great merch pickup of 2020 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the club. Nathan and I are going to be sitting out on the patio. We are going to be delivering merch that people have pre-ordered online. You can come and pick up merch. You can also get cocktails. There's 2 cocktails that you can order. And you have to do that by 10 p.m. tonight or your SOL. And you can order merch on our website. So go check that out. Swing by the club, even if you didn't order anything, because we're going to be giving away free French fries. Okay. And I think that's reason enough to go. So we like to start the show with some jokes. So let's see how this goes with me by myself. If you are watching right now, I would really appreciate extra encouragement because, again, I'm doing this on my own. All right, it's time for the news of the week. Let's start with local news. The governor announced today that a mask mandate for all indoor and outdoor gatherings in Vermont will go into effect on August 1st. He also announced he's working on an earplug mandate for Vermont's other airborne virus, the F-35s. Rimshot. Hundreds of volunteers gathered in Burlington last weekend to paint Black Lives Matter on Main Street. Meanwhile, hundreds of dipshits gathered in the comments to make the same fucking stupid points they always do. Brookfield, the developers in Burlington's infamous City Place project, appear to have abandoned the $50 million project. Mayor Miro Weinberger announced his intentions to send them a strongly worded letter. Analysts estimate it will take about 2.3 million more letters to fill the giant pit in the middle of downtown Burlington. In response to the citywide disgrace, the Burlington City Council issued a resolution to announce that they plan to consider calling for a vote on issuing a possible tweet endorsing tolerance or some other shit. Snore. Due to the slowing, this is hard by myself. Major props to everyone who has a late night show. Due to the slowing of coin circulation, local banks are pleading with the public to give them their spare change. To those banks, I just want to ask, have you checked that center console in your car? That's where I find all of my change. I would also like to say to all the banks that are out there watching, all the banks that are watching right now, I've been waiting my entire life to be more powerful than a bank. And I feel like I'm going to prove that I am right now. These are the coins that I have. That's a lot of coins. Okay, this is a lot of coins. The first bank that promises to pay off my student loans will receive all of these coins. And that's a promise. Next. All right, national news. According to the CDC, the United States could control coronavirus in as little as 1 month if everyone just wore masks. Yeah, okay. And I could become a better person if I just changed all of my thoughts and my actions. It's not going to happen. McDonald's announced that it would require customers in the US to wear face masks inside its restaurants starting next month, in a rare but resounding win for the Hamburglar. Jeffrey Epstein's homes in New York and Palm Beach are for sale for a combined $110 million. The homes themselves are only valued at $10 million. The price includes $100 million worth of sage. It's not going to be enough. A protester in Portland, Oregon, known as Naked Athena, performed nude yoga in front of police this week as a part of something known as Operation Beyond Parody. Let's see. Doing this in a void, you guys. Total void. I don't even have Nathan to laugh at my jokes. I hope you're enjoying this. All right, let's see. Okay. Also in Portland, the Wall of Moms joined protesters this week. The next night, a group of dads also joined with leaf blowers. I have intel that the next secret weapon against DHS in Portland will be Optimus Prime of nieces. I spent so long on this stupid graphic, and those are in fact my nieces, Alexis and Sienna, and they will kick the DHS's ass. Emirates Airlines announced that they will cover all medical expenses for passengers who contract COVID-19 on their flights. Not to be outdone, United Airlines will be sending people who contact COVID on their flights on an all expenses paid trip to a farm upstate. Yesterday, AOC annihilated Ted Yoho after his non-apology to her. And this is what he said. It was a misunderstanding his passion when he directed violent language at her in front of the press in the Capitol. Every man on here tonight who was watching, go and watch that clip in its entirety. Go watch the whole thing, if only to know what your partner is thinking about anytime she orgasms for the foreseeable future. All right, moving on. We're going on to the world of sports. The Major League Baseball season kicked off yesterday with Dr. Anthony Fauci throwing out the first pitch to the Nationals' Sean Doolittle, bumping Robert Downey Jr. out of the #1 spot in the saddest thing to involve a Doolittle in 2020 rankings. Sam, could you roll that clip for us?
Dr. Fauci, when you're ready, it's your pitch.
It has never been more apparent that he is a man who spent his entire life devoted to science and absolutely nothing else. President Trump announced he will throw out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium on August 15th. Some questioned why the president was given the honor instead of a more respectable New Yorker, like, say, Woody Allen. It's because they're both shitbags. The Washington Redskins announced that they will temporarily rebrand as the Washington Football Teams. Other names under consideration were the Washington Men in Big Pads, the Washington Not Soccer Team, and the Washington TMIs. Oh no, TBIs. I fucked it up. Traumatic brain injuries. That's the joke. Okay. They also intend to rebrand their record from last year to 2-14. I always like to end the night with something that we call a segment for good news. After saving his sister from a dog attack, a boy in Wyoming has received praise and gifts from the actors who play Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. When told he could meet Ant-Man, he said, "What, Hank Pym, Scott Lang, Eric O'Grady? Never mind. They're all the same. Hard pass. Okay. And that was our news of the week. Yay. Ooh, did it. All right. We are getting ready to just jump right into this thing. You know what? Before we bring on our first guest, Sam, can I call you out here? Sam, the producer. Can you just turn on your camera for a sec? I just need like a pep talk. I just need like a pep talk because I'm used to doing this with Nathan, and it's just, you know, I don't know. I don't know how it's going. Is it going well?
It's going good. No,
What's happening?
it's going good. It's going real good. I've been keeping an eye on the numbers, and the numbers are good. We like high numbers, and the numbers are high. So I think everything's going really well. Everyone here in the control room having a great time, laughing.
Okay.
Grace peed herself. So you're doing great. Deep breath.
Okay.
You're fine.
All right. Okay. So I think then we're ready probably for our first special guest, and we're going to play a clip of that special guest. So this first guest is a very funny comedian, and Sam, roll that clip right now, if you will.
Yeah. Here we go.
And I never had any friends as a child. I had a lot of people to hang out with, plenty of siblings, but no friends. I had an imaginary friend for too long, Steve. Here's the thing about Steve. I met him when I was 7. He was 11. He had a motorbike. We had a lot of good times. Anyway, so here's how you know that you've had an imaginary friend for too long, is when he becomes your imaginary boyfriend. Yeah, it was time to move on. But here's how I found out about friendship. I was 14. I went out for the basketball team. And I was doing laps like you do when you go out for a basketball team. And I was reading a book like I did when I did anything when I was 14. And the coach comes over and she's like, nope, no running and reading. No reading and running. What is happening? Pick someone from the team to run with. Pick a friend. And I said, I don't have any friends. Boo-hoo, no friends. And she changed my life. She blew my mind. She goes, you don't have any friends? I said, no friends. And she goes, are you friendly? No, I'm not. Did you miss the book? It was nonfiction. It was called The Bravest Teenage Yanks. But she took time out of her very busy life. She changed my life. She took time out of her life to draw a line graph explaining friendship to me in the dirt of the track. She literally drew a line graph in the dirt of the track. And she goes, here we are, beginning of the line graph. Start talking to people. Eye contact would be great, but any kind of mumbling will get you acquaintances. After a certain amount of time, some of those people will make it here, middle of the line graph. Very beautiful. Here, these will be your actual friends. You'll support them. They'll support you. Very beautiful. Here, end of the line graph, not friendship. I don't know what you're doing over here. Knock it off. Knock it off. You're going through their garbage. You're reading their text messages. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. To this day, that line graph is why I have friends. Swear. But I did not create boyfriends. I am married now to a man, always a fun reveal, and he is a delight. He makes video games for a living. And I was like, how did you get that job? And he said, it's perfectly obvious how I got that job. I fought my way through several levels, and then I killed the boss.
It's Jackie Cation!
Yay!
We're back with Jackie Cation. Yay! We were just talking about, it was Jackie's birthday this week. Hi.
It was just 4 or 5 days ago, whatever it was. I don't know when Zoom pushes things to different places, you never know if they show your name. So I've decided to just type my name right there at the bottom, and that's what it looks like right there. It might show up.
It does say it's very good with a dash in between.
That's my
nice.
Venmo. Hey, take a hint. What? Okay. I don't know if you know this. I do stand-up comedy on the road for a living. So.
Oh my gosh. You have been doing shows on shows on shows on shows in quarantine, I feel like.
It's true.
You've been doing so many shows. More than anyone else, I think.
I don't know about that, but I know that I need to do stand-up comedy, and the only option is this way. So I guess And then I was given a free headset mic, you guys. So I feel hip. I feel now.
You look, you look very cool. You look like a gamer or
Sure.
a pilot.
Right. It was
That's
given
right.
to me by the gamer people at Twitch. So good for them.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I got to play a game. But I have to say that I want the Washington football team to be. I think first of all, Washington football team is a great name. I don't mind that name at all. And if they want to go badass, they should call themselves the Murder Hornets. What do you think?
Oh, that's such a good 2020 name.
Yeah, it'd be a real 2020 name. Murder Hornets seems aggressive. Seems super aggressive. Sure.
Absolutely. That is great. You're right with the Washington football team is very much like if I see it, I say it. So it's just like that's what it is.
They could put the Washington.
You're not going to get
put
confused.
the Washington Monument on it. It'd be a nice dick joke for them. Good times. Good times. Yeah. I'm sorry you guys did you get food poisoning from something you cooked or something you ordered? Yes?
Thing we cooked. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, we've hardly been doing any takeout at all. We've had takeout. We've done takeout twice since March.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We try to do it like once a week. We do it to try to support the local vibe, and
yeah.
And plus, we get sick of our own cooking. It's fine.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, we do coffee shops. The Onyx Tonics, we go there at least once a week because we got to make sure that they stick around. We love that place so much.
Right.
So that's what we're all about.
Yeah, yeah. It's but summer in Vermont, is it nice?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
I have a garden this year.
There you go, a little vegetable garden. Us too. Yeah.
Yep. A couple carrots. Got a couple broccolis.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There
what are you
go.
doing? I mean, what are you doing with your
I got tomatoes. I got tomatoes coming up here. I got yellow squash, spaghetti squash, zucchini, eggplant. Also just harvested took a potato. You know how you can take a potato that sprouts and stick it in the dirt and then it will make more potatoes? A lot of work. It created 6 potatoes. That's not a lot of potatoes for how much work. And I'm not really potato people. I don't really like potatoes. I know. There's that look. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't like potatoes, but
You just have to add more butter to them. I think isn't that just like what potatoes taste like butter when you add butter to them? They're
a perfectly good vehicle for butter and salt. Yes.
I don't know, 6 potatoes out of 1. That's some Jesus shit. You're multiplying fishes and loaves,
Yes, but let me tell you something. Here's how it goes. You get the sprout, comes up, you put dirt, you cover the stem, you leave the leaves. It grows some more. You grab some more dirt, and then there's just the leaves. Leave more dirt, and then it's just the leaves. And you keep doing that for months until it flowers, and then the flowers die, and then the leaves die, and then you dig up potatoes.
So is it like you're making a mound?
Yeah. And so we did that for months. It's been 2 months of me piling more and more and more dirt. Literally, it was probably 1.5 feet, 2 feet of dirt. And I was like, there's going to be hundreds of potatoes under here. It's going to be a richness of potatoes. 6 potatoes, 3 of them, very tiny. Yeah. So.
I tried to grow beets and they were this big. Teeny.
Yeah, how are your carrots? How do you do carrots? I tried to do carrots once. I kept digging them up too soon.
Yeah, that's it. I planted enough of them that even after I thinned them out, which is a thing you have to do, someone told me, there were still tons of them. So once a week, I pull one out and I see how big it is.
Okay.
And if it's not big enough, I say, we're going to wait another week.
You leave the rest of them.
I've been down a carrot every week for the last 4 weeks. I've still got plenty.
How about Brussels sprouts? You ever try to grow Brussels sprouts? 2 years it took me to realize that when you get the bud of a Brussels sprout, it comes in like the side. Like here's the main stalk, and then there'll be a side stem, and then inside of it, tiny Brussels sprout. When that happens, you got to break off this stem so it can get big. Otherwise, it never gets big. Did not know that the first year. Never got any Brussels sprouts. Very sad. Got a lot of Brussels sprouts that wanted to come. They wanted to come to the party. Not allowed because I didn't know you had to break it off. It turns out the earth is very the earth is very forgiving, but not entirely so. So
not entirely. It's tricky. That's tricky. I think this is even more reason people need to Venmo you, because this is now a gardening show.
Oh, these are tips.
Valuable information.
These are gardening tips. Yeah. So yeah, I'm working on a new album, and so that's why I've been doing a lot of. I've been doing normal shows like people who were just booking, and then I'm doing my own shows where I work on. When we went we went into COVID, right? When we went into quarantine in the middle of March, that's when I went. My album was looking at about an hour, and then it needed about 15 minutes. It needed to tighten up. We are currently about a month ago. My album was looking at like 2 hours, and then it looked like it still needed about 15 minutes of cleanup. 2 weeks ago, I did 2 separate sets. I was like, well, then I'll just try 2 45-minute sets and see how that works. Turns out I really do have about an hour 15, I think is what this thing's going to be. It's not going to be 2 hours, which is good because a comedy album shouldn't be. Nobody should have to sit through 2 hours of stand-up comedy of one person.
No.
I don't approve.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. That's awesome though. So do you think you're going to wait until we're back and record it live, or are you going to try
I'm not recording it over
Zoom?
It's not happening. It's better than nothing, quite honestly. And quite honestly, the Zoom shows, people are like, Zoom shows, it's not real. And I was like, have you ever done a one-nighter in Iowa in a Best Western where the bar is in the middle of the room, splitting up the room? Arguably also not real comedy. So how about Zoom shows are not even the worst shows that I've ever done in my life. Some of them, quite honestly, I've got the same 60 to 150 people come and see me every week, and they give me $5.
That's the great thing about Zoom shows is like people don't stumble onto them. Like the people we're watching want to be there. So it's there's no way it could be the worst gig you've ever had, because the worst gig you've ever had is in front of 3 people who don't know there's going to be a comedy show that night, and then you go on stage.
I know you're just trying to have appetizers. Guess what's going to happen in about 4 seconds? I got to go do jokes. It's going to be amazing. Oh, yeah. No, you don't get to talk. Anyway, I know you thought you were going out to dinner. You are not.
Then, like, right as the host calls your name, the 3 people get up and leave.
Oh,
and then there's no one.
Yeah, if you think about it, there's Carnegie Hall. There's week-long clubs. There's one-nighters. There's bars, coffee shops, and restaurants. There's hat stores, bookstores, and then there's laundromats. And then there's also Zoom. And Zoom is not at the end of that list. It is somewhere in the middle.
No. No.
Yeah, Carnegie Hall, by the way.
I don't know about. Have you played Carnegie Hall?
Yes.
Have you done stand-up in Carnegie Hall?
Yes. Guess what? It's not set up for stand-up. It's set up for opera. Yeah. So you spend a good portion of your time talking into a microphone, screaming at the 4th tier, going, "Don't you want to hear my Dune joke? Come on, focus." And they can't see you.
I went to see the UCB4 at Carnegie Hall a couple years ago. They played there, and it was definitely like, oh, this is the weirdest venue to watch comedy ever.
It doesn't even make any sense. And it was
No,
I
it's
was
too
obviously
nice.
I was
It's fancy.
yes. You want a low ceiling. You don't want a vaulted ceiling. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a delight because I got to work with Brian Regan. So that's always a delight, right? And but he was like, "What is happening? Like we weren't even allowed to watch each other because we had to. We needed tickets and seats because it's a fully sort of. It's super.
That is
It's fiddly.
messed up. That's like there was a show once that we did a show once at like a hotel, like a fancy hotel, and this was before the club was open. And after the show, the person who hired us to do it wanted to buy us a drink, and the bar manager said, "No, we don't serve the help."
Fantastic. That
So
feels.
we weren't allowed to drink at the bar.
Yeah, that feels.
We weren't fancy enough.
Right. It was. And on that note, have a beverage. Exactly. Well
Yeah,
done.
right. I could legit talk to you all night. You're so funny and one of the best people, one of my favorite people.
Aw.
So your album is coming out, and where can people find these shows that you're doing to work out your new material? If they want to find, obviously, there's the Jackie and Laurie podcast
And the Dork Forest. So those are the podcasts. But if you go, if you go to JackieCation.com and sign up for my email list, I promise you, it is so easy to get off the email list. It's harder to get on it than it is to get off it, but I swear to God, you will find out much easier when I'm going up, because I will send out an email and then everyone will know. And then literally when you get bored, there's 1,000 unsubscribe buttons when you get that email. And I don't take it personally. I'm completely unmoved. I'm like, but it'll be super fun and you'll get all the information before anything. And I'm sending out, fair warning, I'm sending out one email mostly a week now. I used to send out like 4 a year, but because I'm sending them out every week, I try to put an anecdote. Because who doesn't want an anecdote at the bottom of the email? Just me going, hey, I talked to my dad today. You wouldn't believe he was in Walmart putting jumbo eggs in a regular egg carton. He was swapping the size eggs in the thing because my father's a piece of work. And the woman at Walmart came over and who works at Walmart and was like, sir, what are you doing? And he gave her some song and dance BS story about how he loves jumbo eggs but can't afford them. He has 60 cents, you guys. Anyway, and then get this. She helped him switch the eggs. And she gave him her phone number. My father, 83 years old, still working it.
Yep. Wow. That is impressive. So
that's the kind of anecdote that,
that's the, I mean, that is, so that's a reason, I think that's reason enough to sign up for Jackie Cation's email blast once a week. So you work out your shows and stuff. I can't keep you any longer than this. I've already kept you too long.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
you guys
so much
are great.
for coming on. You're the best.
Stay alive.
Thanks.
Stay alive, Vermont Comedy Club.
I will.
Okay.
No more food poisoning, and we will keep the club trucking to the best of our abilities.
Amen. Good.
All right. Bye, Jackie.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. All right. Let's see here. Stop video. Boom. I did it.
You did it.
That was Jackie Cation. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite comedians. She's so funny. So go sign up for her mailing list. Sam, I need you, Sam.
Hey, I'm back.
Why are you sweating? What?
Why
are you?
Sorry, the air conditioning up here broke. I told you before, Grace laughed so loud that she peed herself. Fortunately, she had a lot to drink, and it hit the surge protector that the AC was plugged into. So we're gonna have to sort that out. Sorry, but I always keep a towel.
Wow. I'm really sorry about that. And if you're watching right now, clearly the air conditioner in the control room is broken, which is the reason that you should go to our website and buy merch, because that money will help us fix the air conditioning in the control room and keep the club afloat. So go buy merch, go Venmo us and order a cocktail whatever. So Sam, I think we're gonna keep going, but could you just find some water while I'm doing this next thing,
Okay.
won't you?
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
I'm really excited about these next guests. So we have created a little podcast network, and more podcasts are coming out every week. And this podcast just launched this week with two very funny local comedians. And we're going to go ahead and play the trailer right now for their new podcast. Hit it, Sam.
Hey Maggie, I had an idea.
Okay, fine. What?
What if we started a podcast?
But we don't know anything.
I mean, we could always learn something.
I'm Maggie.
And I'm Maddie.
And we want to welcome you to Okay, Fine, What? A podcast about things we don't really want or need to know about.
But we're going to anyway.
Each week, one of us is going to absolutely force herself to learn everything about a topic, such as aglets,
The soft spot on a baby's head.
or the history of clown noses.
And then spoon feed it to the other like a thick Italian sauce.
Mama likey.
So sit back, relax, kick up those tired feet, and join us as we say to each other,
Okay, fine.
What?
Thank you, Five.
All right, and we are back with Maddie Himes and Maggie Phelan from Okay, Fine, What? Brand
That's
new
where we're from.
podcast.
That's where we're from.
I just want to congratulate you on getting a podcast off the ground. It is not as easy as people think it is.
It's not.
We did learn the hard way that it's not easy. It was,
well,
we spent a lot of money and we deleted a lot of recordings before we realized that
So many.
it's not that easy.
yeah. Well, you got to do it. You got to get the right equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. I listened to the I don't want to no spoiler alerts, but I listened to the ham roll.
Pork roll.
Pork roll.
Pork
Yeah.
roll.
Definitely
Pork
not
roll.
ham.
Taylor ham.
Yeah.
Pork roll. I listened to that episode. Very funny, very informative. Would you please tell our listeners just like a little bit about what your podcast is like? Like,
Sure.
teach us some shit.
Yeah. So our podcast is about things we don't really want or need to know about and don't think you do either. And so with that knowledge, we'll be telling you about these things. So we kind of are taking turns researching something that is unimportant, doesn't
Mhm.
really matter, and teaching it to the other one.
That's really the deal. And in the learning about the topics, I do feel like we learn a lot about ourselves along the way, of course, because it's a
Mhm.
journey.
Inward learning.
And then in communicating what we learn to each other, we learn a little bit about the other one because that's what happens. It's a journey. So
Wow. So it's not only informational, but it's also kind of a little bit self-helpy. It's a little bit of a self-help
almost
podcast.
exclusively
bit.
a self-help
Oh.
podcast.
Yeah. Maybe Maggie's
That's-
helping herself. I'm not. I'm
Okay.
If you need it
I'm
to be a
harming myself.
self-help podcast, it is.
it is. It can be.
It can be.
Okay. I do
Thank
need it to be a self-help
Yeah.
podcast.
And sister, me too. Okay, I'm learning how to help myself during
you're right.
this as
This
well.
is getting
Okay.
a little. That's not really what the pod is about.
So you've got pork roll is one episode. What are the other two episodes? Tell everybody what the other two episodes are, what you learn about.
Okay, so we actually all of our suggestions are coming from our lovely, amazing friends and
Friends of the pod.
fans of the pod, hopefully. So we did pork roll, which was suggested by Brian Park. Our first episode is about crosswalks, which was suggested to us by Rachel Sherman, and our second episode is about riparian buffers, which was suggested by Kate Farley.
Wow. So, okay, so I want to suggest things, and I'm sure people who are watching right now also want to suggest things. So how do they do that? Is there a place where they can go?
Absolutely. Slide right on into our DMs.
You guys, it's the sexiest way to communicate nowadays, and we're asking you to do it with us.
It's the new normal, so do it with us.
Right now, go to our Instagram, which is at okfinewhatpod, and just DM us some suggestions. We'll also probably put some polls on our Instagram, and then if we feel like we want to continue putting in work to this podcast, we'll probably make a website and you can submit there.
Wow. That is a lot, but I see it for you. That's your destiny. I see it for you. There's going to be a website.
Yeah.
There might even be a Facebook group. There might be a Twitter account.
That's in the future.
Wow. I see a Twitter account with a blue check. Verified. That's what I see.
Stop. But don't.
I mean, yeah, maybe in like a month or two.
Yeah, we're not getting
I have the power. I don't know if you know
Give it a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know. I feel like we were definitely hindered by Taylor Swift dropping her album on coincidentally the same day that we dropped our first app. So I feel like we definitely lost some listeners there, but
also, you know, we can learn about some things that you guys want to know about Taylor's album. Want to know what a cardigan is? We will research that for you. We will.
Okay. Well, if you're watching right now and you want to know a question, or you have a question for them that you want them to research and explain to you about something weird, the weirder the better, I presume, go ahead and put it in the chat and I will make sure that they see that after the fact. We are seeing chats from Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. That's the other place.
wow.
YouTube. What's the weirdest thing you have learned so far? And this doesn't necessarily, this could be in the episodes you threw away too. Like in your journey, what is the oddest thing that you've learned so far?
Ooh.
Maybe the little crosswalk.
Yeah. We learned about
kind of a spoiler for the first episode.
We learned about this amazing little man with the name of, you say it. You forget what it is.
I forget what it is.
It's a German name, but it translates to little crosswalk man, and we love him so much.
It's a little.
You mean like little blinky guy?
Yeah. And he's wearing a hat, and he has an umbrella, and he comes from communist East Germany and was one of the few relics to survive after the Iron Curtain, Cold War, you know, that type of thing.
You know. And he has a name.
Okay, that is, you would never think that when you push the button and you wait and it's beeping and then that little guy appears. You would not think Iron Curtain. That's not what you would think.
Exactly. I mean,
that's incredible.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's kept me thinking since it happened.
Yeah. Since the Iron Curtain happened, I've been thinking about
it.
I cannot wait to personally recommend a number of things for you to research. And so if people want to find your podcast, it's all places that you can find podcasts, right? Spotify, iTunes, all the places.
If they even go to VermontComedyClub.com, they can just click on our picture. Almost.
That is true. You are officially a part of Unical Media, which is our platform, which we're very excited about because, you know, we've got to keep comedy going and we've got to keep getting people comedy, even though we can't meet in real life, IRL.
And sometimes
I do have to
20 minutes. And that is, I will say, our episodes are short, so, you know, don't feel like you're buckling up for an hour-long discussion with two girls that you don't even know or like. It's only 20 minutes of those two girls that you don't know or like. Okay?
That is great. I have a very short attention span when it comes to podcasts, and 20 minutes is very digestible. And I feel like the more people listen to it, the more they'll get to know you and maybe like you.
Maybe.
That's
But if you don't, you don't.
When you know, you know.
You know,
But
you
maybe
know.
they'll hate listen to it. Here's the most important question I'm going to ask you. Are you two going to be attending the great merch pickup of 2020 at Vermont Comedy Club tomorrow between the hours of 4 p.m. and 7 p.m.?
Let's just say we have it penciled in lightly.
We're doing some other prep, but
That
we'll see
is
what we can do.
the most I can ask of both. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much because I miss people and I want to see your faces in real life.
Always.
We'll be there. We're actually really excited.
Don't sell us out.
Yay!
Look at
Everyone who's watching, check out Okay, Fine, What? Anywhere where you can get podcasts. And yay, clap for Maddie and Maggie. Bye, everybody. Well, bye, you guys. Not everybody. Bye. Oh, wow. Maddie and Maggie, they're so great.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Sam.
Turn it off.
Sam.
Leave.
I can hear them. Oh, that's amazing. I loved that so much. Leave. The panic screaming of Maggie and Maddie as they're talking. So we have one more thing. We always like to end our show with a musical guest. Sam, can we talk like one more time?
Hey, I took your advice. I found some water. I drained it out of the radiator. It's boiling hot.
What? That is not what I suggested. I did not suggest get boiling hot water out of a radiator. That's just going to make you more hot.
You said to find some water, and I found it. It was the only place. We don't have a faucet in this room, and I can't leave because the show's going on. I'm a professional.
I will give you time and a half.
Thank you.
Because you drank hot radiator water.
You're doing
Sam,
great, by
how's
the way.
show going? What do you think?
Let's go.
It's great.
It's great. You're doing really well.
Good. Okay.
People loved Maggie and Maddie. They really connect with that demographic of like 20 to 28-year-old women. And that's been our target for this weekend. So I think we're really hitting it there.
Great.
I think it's going really well.
Yeah, we're always trying to hit that target demographic of early to mid 20s.
Yeah, early to mid 20s white women. It's the most coveted of all demographics.
Those are the people that enjoy me the most. Is that what you're saying?
That's where
amazing.
That's where all the advertising dollars go.
Well, that's true. They do spend money. Well, Sam, I think I'm just going to get you off the camera again. We have one final guest, and it's our musical guest. I'm really excited to bring him in. So please welcome Brian McCarthy. Sam, let him into the room. Oh, my mom in the comments, my mom is watching, and she says, that describes me perfectly. Yes, me too, Mom. Early to mid 20s. I think so. What do we got here?
Right,
Brian
here
McCarthy.
Unmuting, on cameraing, reveal.
Yay!
Sorry, hold on, wait. I'm just really thirsty, and I have this cold water right now, and that it's really great. Cool, refreshing, enjoyable. So what's up?
Wow. I'm just seeing black. Do you have tape over your camera? Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Oh, I should be there. I see myself. So
You
I'm
are
good on that.
there. There was just like a weird black. It was just black for a little bit. But hi,
That's probably how I feel about this entire year is what you were seeing.
just black, just
Yes. Just
darkness.
darkness, just pure darkness from my soul until something goes right.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a mess. Nathan said that you were sick, that you had COVID. You believe you had COVID at the
Yeah,
beginning, like
it's
before it
I'm in
was
this
cool.
yeah, I'm in this like weird realm of like I was sick so early on. Like that was back when the testing was so not readily available. It was like, all right, we need testing for people who we think are gonna die in the next hour, and you don't look like you're
Mhm.
that. It was weird. It was like being complimented and insulted at the same time. Where it's like, you're too young, you're gonna be fine. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Like, but you're also getting older and you had the flu like 2 months ago, so it could be that. I'm like, I don't know how to feel right now. Thank you for
Yeah.
making me feel awesome. Yeah, it was weird. Like I just I literally um March 7th, 8th, 9th, I was on tour with one of my groups, and our last show was down at William Patterson University in New Jersey. And then we come
Mhm.
back and all that, and then I start getting really, really, really sick. I mean, like sick like I've never been sick in my entire life. um and then I go to the doctors and like, oh, you're not dying, you'll be fine, it's okay, stop complaining, cry baby. And so months go by. It takes like about 6 7 weeks for me to feel better. And then, I was just in touch with the people down in William Patterson, and it turns out a bunch of them got sick the next week and were tested for it, and so many people were popping positive for it. It was just like, oh, maybe I should talk to my doctor and see what they say. And so it was basically like, the long story short, or long story long, is they were like, it's, the antibody testing stuff now is so unreliable because you didn't get tested back then, really would just be garbage now. Seems pretty reasonable. That's what was going on, though, if you were around people who literally had COVID. So don't
Yeah.
recommend
Well,
it.
I'm glad that you're okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's still some weird, like, this is not something that people want to mess around with, because there's still, this is many months later, I'm still dealing with weird things. So it's yeah. Wear a
Yeah.
mask. Please wear a mask.
So, I mean, you're a musician, a professional musician,
I used to be. Yeah, I
and
used to be until now.
before 2020,
Yeah, before
is that?
before March of it was right up until March. Yeah, I'm a musician now. They're like, what do you do? I'm like, sit at home and play video games. I'm like 21 again.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, what are you doing to fill your time? Are you writing any music, or are you just like, you know what? I'm using this time to
So we're taking some me time. It's
recalibrate.
not it's not the pandemic or anything. It's just I decided this was good for me to, like, just turn inward and take some me time here. Uh, yeah, I wish it were that. No, I mean, the whole
Yeah.
industry. I mean, like, everybody's industry, your industry, the music industry, the entertainment industry, along with every other industry, is trying to figure out what the f to do right now. I mean, like, necessity is the mother of all invention. Like, we're sticking to online sources, Zoom type things. The record label that I'm on right now, we're actually trying to do a like a COVID release. Like, basically everyone's recording in their. I'm gonna be recording in this room my parts, sending it off to be mastered and mixed and all that, and release an album where we're literally not even in the same state. Um, so, like, again, trying as best we can to do this, that, and the other thing. um, and that's kind of where we're at right now. But everything that I read and hear and talk, the people that I talk to, they're like, yeah, don't expect music to take place really live again until the end of next year. I'm like, great,
Yeah.
that's
That's what we're thinking, like fall fall 2021 is probably when like live music and live comedy are gonna really start coming back.
Yeah, because it's one thing to be like, even like, I've had a couple bands kind of be like, are we gonna like get back to playing this month? I'm like, cool, if you guys want to do that, that's great. You're gonna need to find yourself another saxophonist though, because I will not be there. Because but even if we get past that point of like, all right, we can safely get the band there. We're doing it for the audience, for the crowds, for the fans and everything. And if they're not there, I mean, we don't have NBA type money where we can create some sort of cool virtual environment that they're about to like unleash onto the world, which by the way I've watched and looks really cool and weird at the same time. But unless you have like about $1 billion to create some sort of entertainment bubble, um, yeah, this is kind of how it seems to be for the moment.
Yeah. Well, I would love for you to play something for us.
Sure, absolutely.
If you would be so kind.
Oh, of course. I mean, like, I'm here. I'm here, we're here.
Yeah, I would love for you to play something. Yeah, everyone wants to hear you. So what I think I'll do is I'll just turn off my mic and my video so everyone can pay attention to you exclusively, and then I'll turn it back on when you're done.
Right.
How does that
Pay
sound?
attention to me now. I want everyone paying attention to me.
Yeah.
I used to.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off.
All right, so I'm gonna adjust my volume just a little bit. But yeah, so this is actually something from my last album that I ended the album on, where it's just a solo thing of me playing this arrangement that I did of El Manicero, which is translated roughly into the peanut vendor. It's something that Ray Vega likes to play a lot, so I kind of put it on there and did my own arrangement for it. So yeah, here's The Peanut Vendor by Moses Simons.
Yay!
The Peanut Vendor.
Brian McCarthy.
Natalie.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming on our show. And
thanks for having me.
So good to see your face. Don't you just miss seeing people's faces?
I mean, are people even three-dimensional? I don't know anymore. I have this thing that I see. And I don't know. I mean, like, we might as well be animated at this point, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe we're all living in a simulation. I'll leave you with that terrifying thought. Oh, thank you so much, Brian, for coming on. And I will see you later. Bye. And that's our show, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to thank again Jackie Cation and Maggie and Maddie and Brian. And also all of the people who stepped up to help Nathan and I today because we were sick and helped us write jokes. So Connor and Ash and Tom and Julia and Maddie, and I'm probably forgetting someone. But thank you all so much. And I really hope tomorrow from 4 to 7, we see a lot of you at the club. It's all outdoors. Nobody's going indoors. Masks are required. Okay. Masks are required. And for another hour, go on our Instagram, go on our Facebook, and you can see the drinks that we have. You can order one of those drinks through our Venmo. You can make donations to the club through Venmo. You can make donations on our website. You can also order merch to be picked up at the club tomorrow or to be shipped to you on our website. So all of those things help support the club. And we are just so grateful for the support that we've been getting since March. It's been a weird year, right? But we're getting through it and we will be back. And there is a show tomorrow night here, a live stream show tomorrow night with people from our touring company. They're doing a short form improv show, so very much like Whose Line Is It Anyway, called Screen Time. So check that out. And then next week, we've got an open mic on Wednesday, Unmentionables quarantine game night on Thursday, and then we'll be back on Friday with another Talk to Us, Please. All right, have a great night. Bye, everybody.